everyone. Thanks for joining us. We are getting into the thick of the NBA playoffs. So let's talk about the Raptors. Let's talk about some of the Canadians that will be involved as well. And of course, as usual, you guessed it, it's Jevohn Shepherd who's going to join me for this discussion. Off the top, end of season, let's talk about some awards. The Raptors should be in the mix at the very least. Scottie Barnes, Rookie of the Year, what do you say?
It's funny, V, because I don't even know why that's a conversation, right? A month ago, it was a race between Evan and Scottie, and Evan was edging him out because, he had better numbers and his team was doing better. Well, guess what? We're at the end of the season, and one team is a playoff team and one team's a play-in team. And Scottie has better numbers, right, than Evan. Beating him out in assists. And if you want to talk about the impact on winning, Scottie's leading all rookies in plus minus in his team's wins. So I really don't know what this is about, what the conversation is about. His name is on the trophy. And like he said, this would be a great way to start his legacy. And I think that's the end of that discussion. He's the Rookie of the Year.
All right. Discussion's over there.
It's over.
You heard it. Pascal Siakam. This man has been on a mission. Took him a few games to get going this season after returning from the shoulder surgery. But ever since then, to me, he's an all-NBA player. What do you say?
I think it's going to be a narrow race. It's really going to come down to, what is DeMar considered? Is he a guard? Is he a forward? Then you have Jokic and Embiid. Is one of them going to be considered a forward or center? But I think he can slide in there narrowly. And, he's one of only 5 players averaging 22, 8, and 5. And you look at the other 4 players, those are MVP candidates. Now, the thing with Pascal for me is he's gotten so much better. Right, he's become, you can see how he's making plays, he's scoring the basketball, his confidence is up. You remember, just a year ago, this is a guy that was taking a lot of scrutiny from across, the league, across from Raptors fans as well. And I think he's come in, he's proven, he's showed that he can carry this team on his back. And the other thing has been, he's done it while a number of guys have been out. OG's been out for a portion of the season. Fred has been banged up. A number of guys have been out. And he's been that, since he's come back from his injury early in the season, he's been that consistent piece really to lead this team. So he's done a bit of everything. I think he deserves his respect now.
No question about it. And Jevohn, you said carrying this team, he's doing it on the defensive end too. Just running all over the place, being wherever the scheme needs him to be. On that defensive subject, probably the biggest candidate for the all-defensive team is Fred Van Vleet. Do you see him there?
I see him there, right? And I think the thing with Fred, why he doesn't get the respect he deserves is he doesn't have that physical stature that sticks out to you, that from an optics standpoint. He doesn't have that 6'8" frame, that shot blocking presence. He doesn't have a 7-foot wingspan. But I'll tell you what he does. He plays with heart. He plays with intensity. He's courageous. He's single-handedly taken over games and from the defensive side, right? And I think what I like about him is he uses his size to his advantage, right? He's quick like a cat, but at the same time, he has that low center of gravity, and he really gets under defenders and dictates where they're going to go on the court, forces turnovers, takes charges. So I think he's up there. He's in that conversation, and he's leading that conversation.
Now, we might be showing a little bit of disrespect here, but when the Raptors go into the postseason, you're looking at potentially playing the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, or the Philadelphia 76ers. Miami is pretty much out of the question. They're probably wrapping up that 1 seed. Which of those 3 would you most want to face, and do you think that the Raptors are most likely to upset?
The funny thing is, I think any matchup is the perfect matchup because the real concern is, whomever they face, how they stack up against the Raptors, because Raptors have this quirky, unorthodox way of playing with 4 or 5 wings on the court at once, right? And you don't have somebody that's going to give you 30 a night, but you have 5 guys on the floor that's going to give you 20 a night, and then those same 5 guys are also willing defenders. So they have that switchability. We spoke about their versatility all year. I think they're the bigger problem. And if you see, the Raptors in front of you, that's the matchup you don't want. I think they stand a fair chance against anybody. They've proven it all year. They've won big games. They've won a number of ways, close games, comeback victories as well. I think they're the bigger problem. They're the bigger question mark. Is like, how do you really scout this team? How do you really match up with them? And then they've had a number of guys that have stepped up and led the team in scoring, right? On any given night, Scottie can give you, 30. On any given night, Fred Van Vleet is going to give you what he does. Gary Trent Jr. can give you 40 in a Gucci sweater. There's a lot you can get there with this group.
Well, hey, you heard it from Jevohn. The Raptors are basically running up the chimney, just like John Morant.